Didn't I tell you something important before?
What is it that you told me, ma'am?
Crab for New Year is a must. I told you that crab is always the core of the feast. What about the food? Where did the New Year's feast go?
There's also a letter like this.
Melanie?
Trouble Busters!
My name is Melanie, and today is New Year's Eve. My husband and I returned to his parents' house for the occasion. My husband and his father are relaxing in the living room, watching a New Year's Eve special program. Meanwhile, I'm in the kitchen, making a traditional meal under the glaring eye of my mother-in-law.
Hey, haven't you ever made osechi before?
No, I've always helped my mother make osechi back at home.
And yet this is what you do? Oh, didn't I tell you something important before?
What is it that you told me, ma'am?
Crab for New Year is a must. I told you that crab is always the core of the feast.
I haven't bought any crab.
Haven't bought any? Oh, some stupid, naive wife you are.
No, it's not that I don't have the money to afford it. It's just that I've never heard of crab being the core for osechi cooking.
What's all this I just found out about this now attitude? I explicitly told you before that crab is always the main dish for the New Year's feast.
No, ma'am. You never told me anything about that.
To hell with your excuses.
Mom? Melanie, are you guys doing okay in here?
Well, honey, your mother's been telling me that crab is...
It's nothing, honey. I'm just chatting with Melanie.
The two of you are really close, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. Seems like we really hit it off, didn't we, Melanie, dear?
Yes, ma'am. We're close, ma'am.
Anyway, no matter what, you put crab in the New Year's feast, or so help me. If there's no crab in it, it's not authentic osechi cooking. If you understand me, answer me.
Yes, ma'am. Understood, ma'am. But I've never heard of her telling me to put crab in the feast. And she doesn't even listen to what I have to say at all. And above all else, she hasn't paid a single cent for the ingredients for this New Year's feast. Will I seriously have to keep being at the mercy of my mother-in-law's tyranny? Well,
no. Hell no, I will not. If you don't understand when I tell you, then my actions shall speak even louder. Prepare thyself. Troublebusters initiate.
I moved all the New Year's food I made into containers for takeaway and decided to leave a note next to the almost containers meant for the true feast.
What's wrong, Melanie?
I'm going home now.
What?
I'm not spending the New Year's or Obon holidays with this family.
Hey, Melanie, what's wrong all of a sudden?
You'll see.
What's wrong with Melanie, son? I'm so shocked, but I think she just said the reason in the kitchen. I think so, too. Let's go to the kitchen, then.
Wait a minute.
What? Huh? What's wrong, Anne?
Well, see, I just feel like you shouldn't go.
Why not?
It's, a woman's intuition.
That's suspicious. Very suspicious.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Mom!
What is it?
What does this mean, huh?
What are you talking about?
This, Mom.
What? What about the food? Where did the New Year's feast go?
There's also a letter like this.
Melanie? What an unreasonable bitch of a wife. You better call her and get her to come back right now.
No, before that, could you explain this?
Why
did Melanie storm off, leaving behind a note saying crabs are not a must?
Isn't crab a custom in our family to eat during the New Year?
I guess that's how it is, sure.
But then that dumbass Melanie showed up empty-handed, saying she forgot to buy the crab. Oh, can you believe it? When you say New Year's, you think of crab first. Crab!
No, I don't really understand what you're talking about. You mean you made Melanie prepare the New Year's feast?
What? No, that's not what I meant to...
Who, pray tell, was it that told us both we would order this year's New Year feast from a traditional restaurant?
I mean,
What happened to the $300 I gave you when you said you were going to reserve the food for the feast, huh?
I gave that to Melanie.
But I haven't heard anything about my wife herself, you know.
Oh, what? Really? Oh, that's very strange.
Hey, Melanie.
What the hell?
Why did you suddenly leave, honey?
I'm sorry, I just can't fulfill your mother's wishes. I'll tell you this, I was never once told from your mother about crab being a core part of the feast.
Is that true? Why didn't you tell her, Anne?
She should be able to guess that much since she's the daughter-in-law of our family. That's why I always tell her that she's a useless woman in the house no matter how much time passes.
Oh, is that so? So what were you always saying to Melanie, huh? Abusive things?
Oh, no, that was just a play on words.
So all this time, the fact you and Melanie have always been good friends was all a charade? Is that it?
No, oh, perish the thought. We really get along well, usually, don't we? Right, Melanie, dear?
I believe we were only getting along well whenever your husband and son were in the room with us, ma'am. Since I finally have the opportunity to speak the truth, I'll tell you guys everything. Every time I visit your family, I want this, I demand that. She asks so much of me, but she's never paid for anything.
What?
Hey now, Melanie, dear. There's no need to talk about that right now.
No, I shall keep going, if I may. I know that if I don't, I will never have such a golden opportunity again.
Even so, you don't have to say anything in front of my family, right?
No, if I only tell you, and you only, as I have in the past, you always twist and turn my words to your advantage, so I'll tell them too. Even for me, it would have been acceptable if it was just a humble gift of a small contribution. You asked me to buy you an entire kimono set to wear to your class reunion, and right when I bought a beautiful one as you requested, I wasn't surprised to hear you say you'd pay me back later and never held true to your word. You said you wanted a brand new TV, and so I obliged, and you claim it was some payback for the educational services you provide and wouldn't pay for it. And now with the feast's ingredients...
Don't tell me that the whole cost of the ingredients...
Yes, I'm paying for it all. Just how much do you need to drag me off and threaten me before you're satisfied?
How dare you? You're the wife of the family. You should learn to be a little patient.
What do you mean by a little? Even a cheap kimono set is worth thousands of dollars. And the damn TV! Mom, didn't you tell us that you had no choice but to get it because Melanie said she really wanted to give it to you as a present?
It doesn't really matter now, does it? And more to the point, Melanie, can't you imagine that your husband's mother is the same as your own mother, huh? Sweets, kimonos, and a brand new TV. Oh, these are all cheap if you think of them as a sign of filial piety.
I've been patient.
So patient, until now, because I thought exactly the same, ma'am. If that's the case, then this feast is the same. So get your ass back here and bring back the feast you took with you.
No, I have no intention of stepping over the threshold of your property again.
What? Wait a minute, Melanie. Don't tell me you're...
Yes, indeed. I'm keeping the idea of divorcing you in mind.
Please, Melanie, darling, we certainly share some responsibility for not noticing Anne's despicable behavior thus far, but can't you at least reconsider for the sake of Harrison?
But...
No, it's my fault as your husband that you got to that point, my love. It's because I didn't notice properly and protect you. I'm so sorry, Melanie.
Harrison...
Hey, why should you be the one apologizing? Even I've been abused by my mother-in-law so much, you know. Why is it only Melanie that's being protected? That is so damn ridiculous.
Who the hell are you calling ridiculous? Just because it was done to you by your mother-in-law, how does that justify you doing it to Melanie, who is in the same position as you?
I have that right because I'm her mother-in-law.
What right do you fricking have? In the first place, you said that Mom abused you because you were off gallivanting around and not doing much housework at all.
How dare you? I was younger than Melanie is now when I married. It's only natural that I'd want to have a little fun, and yet I was frickin' told to do this and that for the family, cook and clean and wash. Just think about how I felt being told that day after day.
So you thought it was your turn to bully me then, is that it?
You're spot on, Melanie. And what's wrong with that? To begin with, I've hated you since you married Harrison.
From the very beginning, ma'am?
Yes, from the very beginning.
Was that why every time I went back home you always forced me to make elaborate dishes like hors d'oeuvres a la carte and cakes?
Wait a second.
Hey! Is that why you had me do all the New Year's cleaning while you three were out on a few errands?
What?
Hey, stop this! And what did I do when you said you were short on money? I cut back on our household budget every month. I've been giving you pocket money since you are my husband's mother.
Pocket money?
Yes, but the money I gave her, always with a nagging feeling of stinginess. It seems like she was enjoying a luxurious lifestyle.
Is that true, Anne?
Well, I mean, it wasn't like I was buying a lot of things I didn't really need. You don't even exercise and you went and bought a chin-up machine, didn't you?
That laundry rack? Don't tell me that was actually a chin-up machine.
No, well, no one would have used it anyway. And you even bought a useless high-end ebony computer desk.
You don't mean that table where the microwave oven is now? You don't even have a computer! Why the hell did you buy that?
Because there was a special sale that only happened once a year, and it was $2,900 instead of the usual $3,000. But was there truly any need to buy a life-size suit of armor or a portable generator?
So that armor that just happened to be displayed without my noticing in the entranceway, you bought that? And where did you fricking intend to bring it with you when you bought it? That generator?
They were both on a limited time sale. Once you see things that are discounted or on limited time sales at supermarkets, you can't help but want to buy them, right?
Ain't the range of things that you can't help but want to buy too huge? First of all, Mom, apologize to Melanie.
I absolutely refuse. I just used the money Melanie gave me to good use.
What fricking part of any of that was of good use? You ought to beg for mercy at this point. Mom, I'm ordering you. Apologize to Melanie.
No, I absolutely refuse. Who the frick would apologize to someone like that bitch? I knew you'd say that, ma'am. If you knew I would, hurry the hell up and give us back the New Year's feast. I held off until the feast was ready and didn't eat anything all day. I am starving here. I know that, too. Then get your ass home now. I have no intention of ever stepping over the threshold of your house while you're still there. And this is the New Year's feast that I bought and made myself. And above all, wasn't it yourself that said, if there's no crab in it, it's not authentic osechi cooking? Tell me if I'm mistaken. So it seems that this isn't even real osechi for you, ma'am. So I will take it back to my parents' house, thank you very much. Please, anything. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to have crab in it. I'm telling you to bring it back over here. I must decline. What? Don't you understand? I no longer think of you, Miss Anne, as my mother-in-law. I don't acknowledge you as my family anymore. What? What do you mean? It means that I have no intention of helping you. I don't need you to help me. I can fix something up real quick. Oh, cocky now, are we? From the looks of it, Anne, maybe you haven't looked in your refrigerator yet. Huh? The refrigerator? Yes, the refrigerator. Don't tell me. What the hell is this?
There ain't no way.
Unfortunately, it's, as you can see, empty. And no, this isn't a dream. The refrigerator is empty?
How are we going to survive the new year? Hey, Anne!
How should I know? What on earth is going on here, Melanie? Look, just take the situation as it is. Have you forgotten? Huh? I told you this morning that there was no more food in the refrigerator and going out to buy some more before the stores closed would be a better idea. Have you forgotten about that? Well, now that you mention it, I do remember now.
What are you going to do, Anne?
What do you expect me to do? It's the end of the year and all the stores are closed.
Why didn't you go buy anything when Melanie consulted you?
I mean, I thought it would be okay because we'd have the osechi.
Lo and behold, that osechi is gone.
Are you telling me it's my fault?
Don't you dare deny it. It's because you insisted that crab be the core part of the osechi cooking that Melanie got angry and went home.
And that was her fault for not buying any crab.
And you never told her you wanted crabs to be in the cooking.
While we're at it then, you never told her yourself that crabs are a staple of osechi in our house either.
I don't even know how we developed this tradition in the first place.
Anyway, Melanie, you're going to bring back the osechi right now. Wait, Melanie? Oh, you're kidding, right? No way you'd hang up at this point. Melanie? Melanie!
I'm just gonna say it. This is all the food we have in the house right now. So we have no choice but to endure this until the stores open tomorrow.
It's not my fault. It's all Melanie's fault that this happened.
No, it's clearly your fault, isn't it? In the first place, if you hadn't bullied Melanie in any way that you did, this wouldn't have happened. So the responsibility is all yours, is it not?
What?
Above all, you're trying to avoid responsibility by machine gunning all sorts of plausible excuses. But is bullying your daughter-in-law really that amusing?
Wait, what?
I wonder what kind of human scum would choose to shift the blame onto the other person without even considering their own behavior, and perhaps seeing they were in the wrong. What say you, Mrs. Malarkey?
Don't tell me. Oh, don't tell me you're both angry.
Now that you've asked me if I am, I'll be honest. Yes, I am angry. I actually think it's rare for someone not to get angry in this situation.
Let's stop this, okay? You're talking like a top-tier devil's advocate.
Well, then I think it's best to apologize properly first. Even if you do apologize, whether we'd forgive you or not is a completely separate matter to worry about.
I'm genuinely sorry, and I'm going to thoroughly educate Melanie that she needs to get crab from now on every year.
I understand, if that's the case.
Wait, what? Did I say something wrong?
Yeah, you kinda did. And thusly, I'm going to divorce you.
Huh?
As of today, you and I are no longer mother and son.
Just wait, you two. Isn't a divorce and a severance of family ties over something like this ridiculous?
How so? Do you even fathom that our precious New Year's holidays have been ruined with just one cup of instant ramen to eat? And you said you'd make a reservation at a restaurant for the feast, so I left it to you. But then the money meant for the osechi disappeared into online shopping. You made Melanie make the osechi without us knowing shit. And on top of that, you've been bullying Melanie for a long-ass time. Beep boop bop boop. Melanie.
What?
Yeah, I've already severed all my ties with Mom, and Dad's divorcing her too.
Harrison? Oh, wait a second. What are you talking about?
Yes, I'm so sorry about all this. Yeah, we're heading your way as we speak. Dad, let's go. Right.
Wait a minute.
What now?
Perhaps you're going to Melanie's place?
What if we are?
Oh, you're so silly. Oh, if that was always the case, you should have said so from the beginning. I'll prepare too.
Oh, you're not invited.
Huh?
Of course not. You did something outrageous to Melanie, who had gone to the trouble of becoming your daughter-in-law.
I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're not, are you?
I am. Hey, wait for me. Oh, please don't leave me here. Hey.
After that, Anne and her husband divorced, and in the division of assets, the family home wound up being sold off. Anne, who had nowhere to go, apparently ended up in a cheap, dilapidated apartment she'd managed to find. However, my father-in-law told me that she was struggling to find a job despite trying hard to find one in order to survive on her own. As for me, after that, my husband Harrison and his father and I reconciled. And now I'm not being bullied by anyone whatsoever, and I'm living a very peaceful and happy life. But I honestly don't want to see crabs for a while.
Troublebusters!